All right, hey there. It is Tracy Black of don'tmesswithmama.com, and I am here today to kind of show you how to use a cool new tool to schedule content in your Facebook groups, okay? So I'm gonna kind of show you this really quickly. So the tool that I'm using is called Meet Edgar. So what it is it's kind of like a scheduling tool if you've ever used Hootsuite, Buffer. This is kind of a similar thing here. So this is Edgar right here. Oh, you know what? I'm not doing a screen share. Let me make sure I do that right now. So let's see here. Hang tight for just a second. Let's do this. Okay, so you guys should be seeing Meet Edgar right now. Okay, so this is Meet Edgar. So meetedgar.com, that's how you can kind of get in and sign up. It does take a couple of days to get signed up to it. So if you're interested and want to start using it, just give yourself a couple of days to kind of get into the program. So again, if you've been using anything from Hootsuite or Buffer, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So, you know, when you've got Facebook groups, when you've got a Facebook page, it can be, you know, tough to manage if you're sort of scheduling, if you're posting things live. I certainly do post some things live, but I also like to schedule things as well. In particular, when I've got, you know, things planned. For instance, you know, I've got activities with my kids, or I've got vacations and things like that. So I did want to show you how to use this and what are some case uses for this, okay? So this is sort of what I've got here. These are called content categories. So Meet Edgar will basically store all of your content in categories, and what you can then do is schedule them on a weekly basis. So, and this is sort of a week, you can't sort of schedule out a month in advance. This is sort of like how they sort of do their scheduling is it's based on each week. So every Sunday at 12, an essential oil blog post will go live on my Facebook page. Every 8 a.m. on Monday, for instance, a tip will get posted to my essential oil business group, and so on. So you can kind of see it works really great. So rather than me kind of being hunched over my computer and managing all of this with just a little bit of legwork in advance and then just a tiny bit of maintenance after the fact, I can kind of put everything in here. So for those of you who are bloggers and who use Board Booster, you will probably know what I'm talking about. It's kind of a similar concept, but you can use Meet Edgar for Facebook groups, for Facebook pages. I believe you can also use it for Twitter. I don't think you can use it for Pinterest right now, but if you're using Board Booster, you can already sort of use it there. So let me just tell you how I'm kind of using this, okay? So on my Facebook group, for instance, I've got, let's see here, I'll show you questions, okay? So let's go back to my library, and you'll see here, for questions that go to my essential oil group, I've already got 30 questions in here. And these are questions that I've sort of used in the past. So you can see it's everything from, you know, what oils do you make for a perfume blend? What's your favorite DIY recipe with essential oils? So effectively, I've got 30 posts in here, okay? And I can always add more. So here's how it works. Every Monday and Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I've got these questions randomly going out to my Essential Oils Facebook group. So what that means is at 1 p.m., Edgar is going to go ahead and pull one of the questions from that group, and it'll cycle through because I've got 30 in there right now. So right now I've got 2 questions for that group. So that's roughly about 8 a week. So that means I've got enough questions in there to go through roughly about 3.5 months. So after that 3.5 months, what's going to happen? It's going to cycle through and go to the beginning. And I am okay with that because I feel like I've constantly got an influx of people coming into my groups. And so I want people to kind of see them over and over. I mean, how many times have we posted, what is your favorite use for lavender, or what oils did you use this morning? So this is a really great way to repurpose those questions. And you know what? As I start building more questions into that library, I could have questions going out every single day of the week. So you're going to also see here that I've got questions going out, for instance, here at 2 p.m., right? As well as another one at 1 p.m. This is for my prospecting group. So this is what I've got here on Monday and Wednesdays for my members only group. I created a separate post here for going towards my prospecting group. And the reason why I did that is I didn't want the same question going out to both groups at the same time. So if you wanted to do that, you certainly could. What you would do here is you would highlight, whichever areas you want this question to be posted. I wanted different questions and different times for them, and so that's what I did. But it's very sort of customizable. Okay, so that's how you can do that. I've got questions, I've got tips. So what are some examples of tips that I'm posting in my essential oils group? Again, these are things that we do all the time. Everything from learning about how to, get on essential rewards, Thieves Cleaner, my veggie soak. These are things that I've already sort of posted in my group. But again, after about 6 months, people have kind of forgotten what you've posted. And so I think it's, what you could do is you could use the same picture, but maybe update the copy a little bit. You can sort of repurpose things. And again, frankly, even if someone did see it, they might have forgotten. So showing it again is not such a bad idea. Okay, so that's how I'm using this in my Facebook groups. If you've got a Facebook page, you can do the same thing. So for instance, I've also got my blog posts. And my blog posts, I actually have scheduled to go in my Essential Oil Facebook group, as well as my Don't Mess with Mama Facebook page, which is like a yellow pages listing. So I've got blog posts going there. I've also got blog posts on real food, for instance, because I also talk a lot about real food. So real food isn't necessarily a good sort of target for my essential oil group, not unless I used essential oils in them. So I really sort of focus my real food blog posts over on my Facebook page. Okay, so I'm going to show you something that's really going to knock your socks off, okay? So how many of you have been using Tiny Torch, or what's the other one, Post Planner or something like that, right? So we've been using those to post in events, okay? Or sometimes even within our Facebook groups. So the cool thing with Edgar is that I'm kind of doing something similar right now. And I am creating, so for instance, I've got a beauty challenge going on right now, but let's say you've got a PSK challenge. Maybe you've got a supplement challenge like I have here. Eventually I'm gonna do, a challenge about, essential oils for kids. So a challenge, kind of think of a challenge as like when we do like a Facebook class, right? At this point, I don't think Edgar can tie into an event. It only ties into groups. I could be wrong, and certainly you could reach out to Meet Edgar to kind of find out more, but I haven't explored the events option yet. So how I'm using this is similar to how we would sort of post things in an event. I'm doing that in my group. So right now I'm doing kind of a beauty challenge. So kind of like beauty school, right? Like many of us have done this in an event. I'm doing this in my group. I don't really feel the need to create an event for this. And quite frankly, I feel like I get more engagement in my group when I do it in this manner. So rather than doing, 20 posts in a day about, or even an hour and a half about beauty school, what I'm doing with this challenge is it's basically 20 days worth of content. So you can see here, there's 20 posts in here. So what I've created here is every single day, a different post is going to go out about beauty. So I've got here, the first post, I've got the second post here, and these graphics, if you're going to ask, I got many of these graphics from Oil Revolution Designs. But again, you guys, if you've ever done a Facebook event before on beauty school, healthy swaps, and emotional support, anything, even a one-on-one class, you probably already have much of the content as well as the graphics, and you can load it up into Edgar. So this is a really cool thing. So what I have done is, you can see here on my schedule, I've got my beauty challenge scheduled to go out every single day. Monday is here. I just scheduled it for 7 p.m. that day. So I have it going out every day, Monday through Friday. There's 20 posts. So unlike what is it, Tiny Torch or Post Planner, where the last post, it sort of ends, Edgar is going to keep cycling through that category unless you end it. So here's sort of what I'm planning to do. My last post will be, I believe, on the May 20th. So on the 21st, which I think is maybe a Saturday, or the 23rd, I have a calendar item for myself to go ahead and delete these. So after May 20th, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this from my schedule because the challenge will be over. Does that make sense? So if I had a supplement challenge, let's say I had a supplement challenge starting June 1st to the 15th, then I would schedule starting June 1st, the supplement challenge, because that's what you do here. You sort of go here, you click, the category, you click exactly which group do you want it to be in. So this is my essential oils group. You click the date and the time and you save it, right? And then it'll show up here. So what I would do is I would schedule exactly when I want it to post. And then let's say I only wanted my supplement challenge to be the 1st or the 15th. On the 16th, I schedule myself, on Google Calendar to go in and delete all of these because that challenge is now over. For the rest of these are pretty evergreen. Evergreen means they're not changing. I'm not going to be taking, questions or my tips or my essential oil posts down. These are going to be kind of evergreen, but I wanted to show you how this could be a really cool way to kind of do these sort of beauty challenges, any kind of, anything you would put in a Facebook class to sort of do it with Meet Edgar. So it's a really, really cool feature. As far as your categories, they give you a couple of categories like promotional or inspirational. I'll probably delete these two because I don't really use that. What I found to be most helpful for me is, creating categories based on topics. So my essential oils, my real food, tips for my essential oils group, tips for my business group. You can do memes. I've got things specific to, my Facebook page. So you can sort of do different things. And your library is sort of where everything is stored. So the other cool thing to kind of think about is, again, you kind of want to have a library like this simply because people often forget what you posted, and you've always got new people kind of checking you out. So, if you posted this today, in 3 months, a lot of people will forget that you even had it. But this is still good content. These are still good questions to ask and get engagement in your groups. And who knows, maybe the person who commented in that first month will have completely different answers in that 3rd or 4th month. So you can kind of choose and decide how you want to do this. And as far as coming up with this content, I say start looking through your groups right now. Chances are you can kind of go back and sort of look for those things. Like for instance, when I did a search for supplements in my group, I found all kinds of great content that I actually completely forgot that I had even there. The same goes for the KidSense line. I have some great content on KidSense, like this right here, that was done way back in November. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this and create. I'm going to go under the essential oils for kids, and I don't have a library there. Create new content, and you basically can just add it here. Oops, that's not it. So you can copy that, paste it here, and say this is for the kids. I want this to go here. This is my prospecting group, so I do want it to go out there to my prospecting group too. And you can make changes as needed and edit it. You can add an image, for instance. So I would just sort of download this image again if I don't already have it, and then add it and save to library. So that's kind of how you use Meet Edgar and how you can use it to schedule to your Facebook groups, your Facebook page, to create challenges. And again, I don't know, and I don't think you can post this to events, but I could be wrong. So you can always contact the Meet Edgar team. So I know what you guys are going to ask. How much does it cost? So it's $49 a month. I know that's not always sort of doable for everybody. It could work where maybe you and a team member kind of get in it together. The only thing is that you're going to have to link all the different accounts that you have. So you can see sort of here, for instance, I've got all my different sort of things linked here. So you could conceivably have many different groups linked in here. That's sort of up to you and whoever you decide to share your account with to kind of manage. But for $49 for me to get this scheduled and to kind of give me peace of mind that this is all kind of going up. And frankly, I had a lot of this content, the supplements, the PSK challenge. I already had this content. To know that I can repurpose this every few months, especially for my new folks, is just gold for me. It's such a good use of the content that I already have without me wasting my time. So it does take some legwork to kind of get this set up. I won't lie to you. I've been really sort of honed in on this for like the last 3 or 4 days. But this is, for me, planning for my summer when I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling. For me to know that I don't have to worry about it as much is just huge. So I just wanted to kind of show that to you and show you kind of a cool tool. And I've got some other cool tools coming up that I'd love to share too. In particular, if you guys are looking at options for email, I've got a fantastic email program that I can show you. So let me know if you're interested in learning more about that. Go ahead and comment on this post in Facebook and let me know. Okay, so hopefully that helped. Bye guys, see you later.